Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Excited to have Kevin Touch here joining us today. He's the founder of Middle Road Energy. So excited to talk about this energy drink because I'm a big fan of energy drinks and I cannot wait to try yours. But first and foremost, let's welcome our friend Kev to the show. How are you?
Doing great this morning. Great Wednesday morning here in the Northeast of New Jersey.
Beautiful. Yeah, we're in New York. It's a little chilly out there. Same type of weather today, but we're getting ready for the spring. I see that sunshine. So, yeah, you're a local guy. Well, at least to me, because you're from New Jersey. So excited to find out more about this energy drink. Before we start, though, let me just remind everyone it's drinkmiddleroadenergy.com. That is the website, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and we're going to talk all about your products, but first, I want to get to know you and what brought you here to this whole business. So, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Kevin Touch. Grew up here in Toms River, New Jersey, about 10 minutes away from Seaside Heights. So if anyone knows the TV show Jersey Shore, that's a really popular spot. One of the biggest things growing up, family was very active, very active lifestyle. We always were on the search for something, right? You try sodas, you try coffee, you try teas, and a lot of that's just all processed or it's just not really going to give you that constant flowing energy. So I
Yeah.
decided, after the COVID pandemic, we need something different, need to change in the world. And I went with Middle Road Energy because I believe Middle Road Energy is that constant flowing energy, no crash and burn feeling. And it's good for a good pick me up in the morning, right? Let's say you're waking up, you're tired, you need something quick.
Yeah.
There it is, Middle Road Energy. Let's say you're having a long day at work, right? It's that 2:30 crash and burn feeling. You feel like you're ready to get something going. Quick little Middle Road Energy will keep you flowing down the road. It's nice, 30 milligrams caffeine. It's
Wow.
not going to kill your heart. No jitters, no shakes,
Wait,
none of
and there's
that.
no preservatives added. I was reading about that
Yeah,
too.
no preservatives, all natural flavoring. We got orange vanilla colada, blueberry blast, and black cherry. Real simple flavors. It's clean energy for you and your body.
Oh my goodness. So how did you develop this? Tell me, were you always into energy drinks? Were you looking for something that wasn't just on the market at the moment?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I've always wanted to try something different. Like I said, sodas, I had
Hmm.
teas. I had so many things. I'm just, those are good, but they're not something that's perfect, just right down the middle. And formulating it was pretty interesting. Well, I had a formulation team on Power Brands out in California. They formulated it for me, and I
Wow.
went through the ingredients. And I said, well, I want something light and simple. So one of the biggest things is if you can't read an ingredient on the label, you should never put it in a product. That's one of the biggest things that I've been told, and it's one of the biggest things a formulation and nutritionalist tells anyone. And I said, okay, so vitamin B12, of course, just microdose. So we microdose the B12, we microdose everything, like the zinc citrate, we microdose the vitamin C. Everything's all microdosed, so you don't feel the effects of crazy surges going through your body. It's just that little buzz you need to get you going. The biggest thing with the ingredient, it's made with agave. So agave comes from the tequila plant out there in Mexico and Texas area, the Tex-Mex border. And we wanted that because it's drought resistant, number one, and number two, it has that specific sweetener that just keeps it flowing. It doesn't go crazy on the levels of, oh, it's going to hit you right to the taste, and it gives you that
Hmm.
bad aftertaste. One of the things about this drink, it's a very low aftertaste, if anything at all, and it goes down smooth, which is
Now,
exactly why Middle Road Energy was created.
all right, as a young kid, tell me about this. You grew up, you said, with a very healthy and active family. Could you talk a little about your parents and about, how you developed from them?
Absolutely. Yeah, my parents, they sacrificed so much for me. You got to think, growing up back in the 90s to early 2000s, it's a different time, right? Technology wasn't there, and they always encouraged me to just go outside and enjoy myself, right? And one thing about going outside, you have to think, well, you need something that's going to pick me up, right? You need something that's going to put you in a good place. And when you think about all the things when you're as a kid, nowadays it's all about technology. Going
Hmm.
outside, having an active lifestyle, living healthy, they encourage that. And they never forced me to say, go do this. They just let me live autonomously, which is very important. Parents were very influential of just not forcing your kid down a path that you don't need to be, right? You'll
Hmm.
find it eventually. They're very supportive of everything I do, but they were also very instrumental of saying, hey, don't just go to this without passion, right? Have a little passion involved. Make sure you put the work in. And I learned from them, and I learned everything from them to
Beautiful.
now. to carry into today. Absolutely.
Great. Now, I also was reading about, obviously you went to high school, you went to college, but your biggest obstacle was finding direction. So, talk a little bit about your college years. What were you majoring in? What did you focus on? Share that experience, and then tell us when you figured it out and found this direction. This is exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, college years and high school years, even high school years were interesting, right? High school was just like, well, what am I going to do? Right? You're
Yeah.
16, 17, 18, you don't know. No one knows. So I went to
No.
college for communication, and I realized that when COVID was coming around, I'm like, you know what? This is interesting, right? That was really when I found it. I'm like, college I went for communication, but I always felt like that's not the end to be all. Nothing in life is guaranteed, in a way. It's not supposed to be structured. So I said to myself, well, let me try this, right? It's a different. I feel like there's a need for it because everyone is having problems with health nowadays and need to be more health conscious after the
Yeah.
pandemic. And I said, okay, 2021 late, I started to develop this idea of middle road energy. And that's when I said, this might be my calling because think about the chances you don't take, right? If you don't
Mm-hmm.
take this chance in the entrepreneurship world, someone will take it for you. And while this is a competitive space, you have to be different, right? Everything's all extreme or everything's all to the left, to the right, thinking about the middle, right? No one thinks about the middle, walking down that aisle. And I said, you know what? This could be a perfect opportunity, not just for the health consumer, but for the any consumer. And that's where I went, and I found my direction right there. And I never said this is it, right? Always have branches. Like I might be doing middle road energy one day. There's different parts of my job, which we'll get into this a little bit later down the question down the road. That's very interesting in my field.
Beautiful. Well, excited to have you here. And I know you wanted to also focus a lot on the importance of networking with your local community, with community outreach. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk more, obviously, about the amazing products. Can't wait to hear more, the marketing aspect, and of course, attending events and expos. So, where did you want to kind of focus on next?
Let's go with the networking for sure and the
Perfect.
community outreach.
Go for it.
Yeah, the networking community outreach is so big. You got to think when you're starting a business, you can't just go out there and target ads across the nationwide spectrum. It's all about the local community. If you think local, you grow local, you'll eventually become something in the state. So I started with my business out here in Toms River, right? I'm on Toms River, about 10 minutes away from the shore, many shore points, right? Shore points can go anywhere from Belmar all the way down to Wildwood. That's basically my region. So I stayed, but Toms River is such an interesting place because Seaside's right there. So I wanted to go around that area, just talk to business owners, independent retail. It doesn't have to be the big box chains because those are hard, right? Those are hard to get into. But the little guys in the room, the people who are just starting up, the startups, those are the people I wanted to outreach and network to. Because think about it, they're in the same position as you and they're more flexible on obviously pricing options, more flexible on logistics, more flexible on what could be done to put in the shelves and their fridges. So that's the biggest thing in networking. And then, of course, networking can go not just beyond local, but in person, just regular people, right? Regular people you meet down the store, your neighbors, the street, simple things like that. It builds a little base up. And when you start building that base and you start putting your products into the consumer hands through e-commerce and the website, it starts to spread locally, especially when the weather gets warmer and when things start to amp up for our brand. But that's the biggest thing with networking. And then one last thing I'm going to add, Joe, real quick. The thing about networking, people say, well, you have to attack it crazy. Believe it or not, networking is just like conversation. Just like we're doing today, it's all conversation, right? Be natural, be yourself. Don't try to flex something that you're not, and just be humble about it, and really respect their time because they're giving your time, and you respect their time as well. I respect our time, your time. It's a good chemistry that doesn't have a meaning sometimes. It's just all about putting into that work, putting in that connection, and seeing where it lands, just like a plant.
Perfect. Well, thank you. Yeah, I call myself Networking Nicolini. That was always my nickname. The importance of networking, right? Though it's true. And I always said it's even as a teenager and as a college student, the more internships you do, yeah, you're not getting paid, but you're getting out there, you're getting exposure. It's those contacts and those people that you're meeting along the way that honestly have helped me along the way. And I'm sure same with you. That's what you find. It's true. So the more you could do is just, it's always better. Well, thank you for sharing that. And also, let's talk more about the marketing aspect. So, as a communications major, how did you, kind of hone in on the marketing?
Yeah, marketing, you're looking for your ideal customer. That's the first thing. Ideal customer, and then a concept with the design. So the marketing of the design of the can is really interesting. It's a road. I actually have a little product display. See if I could just kind of put it in the camera right there. It's hard to see, but there's a road design that
Yeah.
really wanted to be a really simple. I wanted to go really simple on it. Just a little road with a little fruit on top of it just to kind of look like a tongue because the road looks like a tongue hitting your taste buds. So that was one of the biggest marketing things I did. And where life meets the middle, right? And then you just fill it in the blank where life meets the middle of the road. So that's one of those little subliminal messages of, hey, listen, we're all going to go through something, right? Whether it be good, bad, or in between. And we have a choice to make at the end of the day. And sometimes choosing that middle path, right? That grounded path to stay grounded on Earth's levels and your own levels, it works. It works. And you never lose those roots, just like a plant, like I was saying earlier. You never lose the roots and you always stay clear. And then marketing, obviously, for the actual product, you always look at the health conscious consumer, right? Someone looking for a change, someone's looking for a quick pick me up, maybe not too extreme on the caffeine, all natural flavor, which is huge nowadays, no
Mhm.
preservatives. All that you just target and you just directly reach out. And then, of course, you market on social media, which is just post,
Yep.
stories, lives, anything you can do to get free attention is important. And then, as I said earlier, your network goes back to this marketing as well. You collaborate in partnership with them, right? I'm in your store or in your
Yep.
restaurant. Let's have a day. Let's have an opening day where we can come in and decide some things. Or heck, there's days where I'll be like, hey, you want me to come in as an employee, right? Just do simple things. It gives back the consumer and the businesses that are willing to put my stuff in the stores to say, hey, this person is really looking into not just helping one customer, but helping the overall brands grow together.
Got it. Well, by the way, we got to take a quick commercial break here. You got to remind everyone how we reach out to you. Tell us all forms of contact, the website, phone number, or social media pages, please.
Absolutely. Yep. www.drinkmineralenergy.com is the website e-commerce. And then for social media, it's at Middle Road Energy on Instagram, at Middle Road Energy on TikTok, at middleroad.bev on Snapchat. And they'll also have a dot card. You just look up dot cards. You scan a dot card, real simple. I'll have that provided as well in show notes.
All right, there's the commercial break. Good enough. Let's get moving. I want to talk more about these products. You offer the black cherry, the orange vanilla, colada, the blueberry basta. So wait, how many do you have total?
Just three. Those three
There's
are starter
three.
packs. Yep.
All right, perfect. And can I just ask? I mean, you talk about having the best fruits and keeping it all natural. And if you're just tuning in, Middle Road Energy, it's the latest and greatest energy drink, but again, all natural, right? All natural products. And I do love your logo there. I'm looking at it now, even closer in. So Todd, what was the first one that you developed?
The first one I developed actually was the orange vanilla colada. That was the first one. The orange vanilla colada, like I said, has orange, basically your orange fruits, yeah, your little vanilla extract, and then of course a little bit, just a hint of colada, which is a little coconut. But one of the biggest things about the orange vanilla colada I like is I've had it before. I'm sure many customers have had. They say it's very smooth. It doesn't hit your taste buds and just gives that crazy effect. It's really smooth. It goes down well, and then the blueberry blasted next. If you've ever had like a blueberry, like a blueberry, like a pick me up, like little drink, like a hint of blueberry, that's kind of what
Mhm.
blueberry is. But it gives you that little bit of interesting taste because blueberry has that. It kind of has that feeling of well, it's rushing down my taste buds. Where if you hit it with a nice blueberry, and then all of a sudden it gives a little bit of a kick after, and you can taste it, but it's not a crazy kick. It's all subtle. Everything we put in is subtle, and then black cherry is our strongest flavor because cherry is naturally strong, but even that is way below average in terms of crazy strong. It's much more smooth. It's we reformulated everything to where it's easy and flowing. One of the biggest things is with the agave, we put a little bit of juice, just a tiny bit of juice concentrate in there, very micro dosage because when you put a little bit of that, it actually pulls back on the sweetness and the sugar, so you're not getting that crazy rush and you're not getting that crash and burn feeling. So we formulated it very holistically and specifically to any consumer so they don't feel oh I gotta go and get that crazy buzz especially for people who have health concerns right now. Let's say you just never don't like energy drinks, you can't have it due to blood pressure or something. This is perfect in between where you can get that perfect pick me up. It's health conscious and you can really share this to anybody, any a moment, any activity, which is great. You can be mowing a lawn, you could be outside, you could be playing a sport, you could be just having a nice dinner conversation. It's all great. It's all natural. And last, if you're a party person, definitely mix it. We've had some people mix it with some vodka or juice, and it goes down well as well. So it's a good functional energy drink.
Awesome. When you think of citrusy fruits, you think of oranges, you say, right? Middle
Absolutely.
Road Energy's Orange Vanilla Colada. That one conquers the highway. I love this, the marketing. Flavor with three unique flavors wrapped into one. Enjoy the rush of OVC while pursuing balance and energy in your day to day. And if we go to the website again, it's drinkmiddleroadenergy.com. You can buy obviously 4 packs of each, but is there a starter pack with the samples of each in it as well?
No, actually, we just do 4 packs. The reason why we do 4 packs is because we're just starting out. You do
Got
12
it.
packs, sometimes people will be like, "What happened?" Maybe someone doesn't like it. So we just start with the
Yeah.
4, keep it simple, keep it easy, for
Oh my
sure.
gosh. Well, I cannot wait to try them myself. Thank you. So what else? There's so much more to talk about here about the work you're doing and also getting the word out there. Now, by the way, when was the company established
I
specifically?
Yeah,
What
this
year?
was precisely the August 2022, but we didn't
Uh-huh.
launch till December 22. That was a crazy process. We have to go through the label review, of course, and you got to go through the back end. But the back end, once we got the back end done, really it was just about simply going out there and targeting e-commerce and starting to reach out to businesses once we got through our first month, for sure.
Got it. And now here you are, networking, obviously, and there's events and expos. Tell me what type of places are you conquering and where?
Yeah, so expos are interesting. We just hit our first expo at a couple malls locally, and one of the biggest thing about expos, I would say, is don't rush into it, right? Don't just go into there and thinking, oh, I can do this. It takes a lot of work, believe it or not, behind the scenes to get an expo running. But one of the biggest things is when you start realizing who's out there, just be yourself. And as I
Yeah.
said, you just present your product, you get a little stand right there, just be yourself. Like smile, have fun, enjoy your time. Because just because it's an expo and you're thinking, "Oh, it has to be perfect," that's when you mess up. So you try to be cool, you try to be calm, and realize that the customer is actually with you. They're going to support you. They're going to naturally look at it. And one of the expos we did recently, a couple weeks ago, they said, "Well, you're the only product out here that's actual product. Like a lot of the other people are services or businesses were real estate or finance. We're an actual product," and they like that. They like something different. And when I told them about this product is really for the person who's looking for a different spark, right? Just a quick pick me up, and they're not looking for that crazy jitter.
Mm-hmm.
People were perked up. People were listening. They were engaging, and that's the big thing. When people are engaged, they're willing to try samples. They're willing to target other consumers, which did happen, which was great. We had a nice line of people saying, "Hey, you know what? This Middle Road Energy, it's not what the other energy drinks are. It's actually something that I can consume." That's when hype builds. So we try to really go through the word of mouth. We've had a great base of YouTube reviews to circulate around the internet. Of course, we always have follow-ups. One of the biggest things is following up with customers, saying, "Hey, what's going on? Is there anything we can do for you? Is there
Mm-hmm.
anything we can improve?" You always follow up in business because one of the biggest things with follow-up is if you don't get the conversion. So following up is massive, and it's always important to just keep the customer in mind.
Perfect. Well, we're excited to have you. Could you tell us about some recent events or any upcoming events that you have?
Yeah, recent events was I said the expo. One of the upcoming events is we should have an event at the college pretty soon, local college, OCC, which is pretty interesting. I
Mm-hmm.
graduated from there too.
I was going to
So,
ask, where did you
yeah,
go? Okay.
yeah, OCC and Kane University's up in Union County.
Awesome.
So
Yeah.
there'll be a little event there going on, and then of course just some events with just some retailers, right? So we're looking to get into some independent retail restaurants. We're going to have some local events in the Toms River area. We'll have like Big Dog Cafe that is opened up, a couple other places in this area that have opened up. It's really important to have those as events too, right? Just because you got in there, make it a day, right? Make it a day, make it something that's worth their time, worth their while, and worth your business for sure.
Got it. Well, thank you so much. So we still have 8 minutes left in the show. My
Yeah, yeah.
goodness. Kev, what else do you want to share about your drinks and why should we try them? I mean, let's talk. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure they taste good and they're good for us, but tell me more, to our listeners today.
Absolutely, yeah. So think about this: if you have someone out there who just may not like energy drinks, and you're looking for someone and something to push it, right? Not really crazy push it, but just push them to get up that light buzz. This is the perfect drink. You look at right now in the United States. This is only we only ship to the United States except for Alaska, Hawaii. So you look at the United States. You go demographically. The East Coast is a really populated demographic where everyone's close, everyone knows each other, neighbor helping
Hmm.
neighbor. This is a great drink, right? Let's say you're moving or you're doing things on the side or you're looking to start a business, right? And you're just getting that tired feeling. You're ready to go to bed at 4 o'clock, it feels like. And then you start going up all night. This is it. This is perfect. We've had people tested at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, all different times at 9 o'clock. And they felt energy till about 5, 6. You would think 30 milligrams caffeine is not a lot, but one of the biggest things we did to formulate it and one of the biggest things we do in science too is when you naturally taste something good, it releases dopamine in your brain. So when you
Hmm.
have good dopamine in your brain, it's like getting free caffeine. And when you get that free caffeine of dopamine plus the 30, it's almost like getting 30 extra milligrams of caffeine naturally, and you can keep yourself flowing down the road. And one of the Other things I think that's very nice about this drink as I'm looking at it is it's got the immune support and made with the agave label up top. So that's really a great turn on right now because everyone's thinking about their immune system, right? With obviously the pandemic that happened, obviously with flu season and cold season, any time can happen now. It's excluding the summers really. And even in the summer, sometimes you might just get sick, get a hot fever. Always think about your health in terms of the immune system. That's where we have the zinc citrate come in, the natural flavors we talked
Hmm.
about, as Jill said, no preservatives. And just a little bit about it, we also have a little romance copy on the back. So I'm going to read that romance copy here.
Go ahead,
With
go ahead.
with life evolving every day, compromising down the middle is pivotal. Middle Road Energy is powered by agave with a slight green tea kick that will leave your taste buds feeling fresh like a newly paved road. Enjoy low caffeine, low calorie, naturally flavored energy drink and live in the center lane, guaranteed Kevin Touch. And then it has some of the no sweetens, no sweeteners, artificials, no green tea, it's green tea caffeine, excuse me, vitamin Z and zinc to help with immune support, and as Jill said, no preservatives and all natural flavors. And then you can kind of see on the road, there's a little yellow divider that separates the nutritional label for the romance copy. That's just in there for design. It makes things good. All calories are 30 to 35. The blueberry and the cherry at 30. The orange vanilla cloud has 35 and most drinks will have between 6 to 7 carbs, nothing crazy. 5 grams of sugar plus 10 grams of sugar, way below average. I mean, you're talking most energy drinks are around 30, 40. This is 10. We'll blow up a soda on caffeine. So caffeine soda is about 40, lower than a caffeine on a soda. Coffee is
Wow.
about 35. We're low. We're well below market There you go. We're well below market standard because we want people to not to feel like they're crashed out, right? Because nowadays you try something that's you think is good in the short term, but you're gonna pay for it in the long term. Here, you may not feel like it's crazy in the short term, but in the long term, that's where we go. So you play the long game if that's something you like and you're interested in, drinkmineralenergy.com. Great place to start off with. Check our website. We got some nice promotional free shipping over $30 orders, which is great because nowadays shipping is off the charts. So we want to always think about the customer with that promotional. And of course, one of the biggest things with Middle Road Energy that we always believe in is find your center, right?
Yeah.
Find your center lane, right? There's always going to be times where you're going to be pushed in one
Correct.
direction, another direction. Find your center, find your balance for sure.
Great. And let me ask you now, how can we get to order these? Do we go to the website directly?
Yep. It'll be www.drinkmineralenergy.com. So what you do is you click on a little cherry, a little blueberry, a little orange. There's going to be a little thing. You click on the product. You hit the cart. Boom, boom, boom. Then it'll go to checkout. Checkout will be pretty simple. Apple Pay, Google Pay, card, whatever you
Hmm.
like to pay. Pretty
And
simple.
is there shipping charges if you order a certain amount of product? Is that waived?
Yeah. So shipping is waived for over 30. Mostly everyone so far has ordered one flavor. So which means four come in a pack. So that's 12. Basically a dozen. You're looking at anywhere between, depending on sales tax, 38 to 40, which is fair, right? Because
Yeah.
nowadays with 12.99,
Oh my
that's a really
gosh.
solid price. With everything that's going on right now, we didn't want to think, oh, let's raise it up. It's about thinking about the
Hmm.
consumer too, economics. With the shipping label, of
Yeah.
course, free shipping. That's what we provide here for sure.
Well, let me tell you something. My son is 8 years old and he happened to find a new favorite energy drink at the mall just a few weeks ago. So he made me order it last night. I ordered from Amazon and was at the doorstep this morning. And I have, now you got me thinking, I got to look at what's in this. I have no idea what's in it. I could tell you the name of it, but he doesn't know yours yet. I'll have him try it. But he likes this Prime stuff. So I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
if that's a competitor or what it is. But now you got me thinking, I'm going to go and compare labels later to see what's in that compared to this. I just know it's a lot more expensive and it's probably a waste of money. Just letting you know. I'm going to check the labels later. Are you familiar with that company?
Yeah, Prime is Logan Paul and KSI. They got a big thing going with the UFC and other avenues. One thing about I noticed is Prime's really a good hydrator in the morning. I don't know too much about, but that's what they market
Yeah.
as. It says it's a good hydration thing.
That's what my son said. He's like, I'm gonna bring it to school today. I'm like, you're 8. Are you allowed to? I don't even know. But so eventually I'm assuming, once you guys get rolling, you'll be like on Amazon too, right? Being sold at Costco and all these. Is that your plan to obviously to broaden the business eventually?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And that's where like you said, the Costco's of the world that will come in once we start getting some traction. Right now, it's just e-commerce and local retail, independent. And the great thing too is you get into the right high traffic independent retail, especially in this area, New York, New Jersey, the tri-state area.
Mm-hmm.
It can take off. It can definitely take off because we have such a big base around here. And then once the tourist season comes around between Memorial Day to
Mm-hmm.
Labor Day, typically down the shore, people will start realizing, people will start understanding what's going on and they might say, you know what, this is a really good short drink, and it can eventually branch out to nationwide for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, Kev. Again, remind us how we can reach you and get these samples.
Yeah, absolutely. www.drinkmineralenergy.com. That will take you directly to the website. And then, of course, you can get my dot card, and that will get all my socials, but I'll include that into the show notes. And then it will be at Middle Road Energy on Instagram, at Middle Road Energy on TikTok, and then at Middle Road Bev on Snapchat to get me. And as always, one of the biggest things with customer service, we try to get back to you guys quickly, answer any questions, just like any good business would.
Well, congratulations on this big undertaking. And your parents must be so proud, right?
Absolutely. Everyone, I will say last thing, support's been phenomenal. When I launched, I've had so many great people reach out, parents, obviously family, friends supported for a long time. They've been very helpful and not just buying products, but saying, thanks, Kev, keep up the great work. Good luck. Couldn't do it without some partners too. Want to thank Shipping Done out in Pennsylvania, great fulfillment hub. 2 to 3 days shipping across the East Coast, which is great. Obviously, West Coast a little longer, but most of the time they get it done. They fulfill the orders right away.
Awesome.
Couldn't be
Great.
thankful about them. Thank you.
All right. Thank you again, Middle Road Energy. Excited to have you here, Kev. Looking forward to the next conversation
Thank
and
you so
best of
much.
luck to you. And guys, reach out. Come on, pick some up. I'm going to try it myself and my son. Have a great day.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.